All right, I'm going to sing a song for you that will bring you so far into my family that you too will need therapy. My kids are both in their 20s now, so I've been telling audiences for the past few years the following sentence. My children are in their 20s, so pretty soon they are going to move away. All right, let's analyze what just happened here. Because that's the same thing that happens every time I say that. So my kids are in their 20s, pretty soon they're gonna move away, and about 30% of you people started laughing. And that always happens. I hired a detective and I did some research and I found out the answer. And I'm gonna explain to you why 30% of every audience thinks that that's so funny. Now I'm 49 years old. People my age and younger, it seems reasonable to us that you would raise these people and then they would move away. You just look at it on paper and it makes sense. You bring them into the world, you send them to school, you keep food in their stomach, you put clothes on their back, you bail them out of jail, and then they live. But to people older than me, 50s and 60s, it is the funniest thing they ever heard. Honest to God, one time I was doing a show, there was a guy in about the 8th row in the aisle seat. He was an older guy, looked like he had a lot of teenager experiences. He had the big eyes like this, you know, the big black marks and the heavily medicated sort of glow about him. Looked like he might have had 3 daughters at one time, maybe. I was speculating. I said, my kids are in their 20s, pretty soon they're gonna move away. I look over, and he's rolling around in the aisle. I thought he was having a heart attack. He wasn't having a heart attack, he was laughing and laughing. I'm like, what's so funny, Grampy? And he's wiping the tears away from his eyes. I'm like, what is so funny? He's like, you ridiculous little man! And I'm like, what? He's like, they never leave! And if they do leave, they come back! So at the end of the show, I was trying to break down the microphones and get out of there, and he came up to the stage and he wanted to talk to me. I already didn't like him. But I couldn't get away. And he said to me, I am a card-carrying member in good standing of the Cantankerous Old Man Society. And all of us members of this secret society, we have valuable knowledge and wisdom that if we ever chose to share it with you younger people, it would save you years. Did I say years? I meant decades of pain and suffering and agony and misery and living in hell. But we never do that because we're bored to death and you people are our entertainment. He said, but I'm feeling kind of generous tonight, so out of the goodness of my heart, I'm going to give you the secret knowledge that you need to keep your children out of your house once they leave for the first time. And that's the first thing that you need to know, that they will actually leave once because they're stupid and they have no idea what it costs to live out there, and you have a very small window of opportunity to utilize this knowledge. And he put his arm around me in this mock paternal embrace. And he looked around to make sure that nobody would overhear the secret knowledge and wisdom. And he said, when your children leave home for the first... Are you listening to me? Well, I just sat through your whole show. I don't think you're very bright. Maybe you need some visual images to help you along. Here, look over here. Let's say that this is your son leaving home for the first time. I know it's only the bottom half of your son. Work with me on this. Let's say that the bottom half of your son is leaving home for the first time. You need to go over to the window and listen. And there he is. He's going out the door. He's walking down the driveway. And he looks up to his dad in the window who's observing the whole scene. And he said, "Thanks a lot for raising me, dude. I'm going out to make my way in the world. Me and Jimmy and Joey and Johnny and Jamie, and Jeremiah and Jonah and Jacob. We're all renting a 2-room apartment. It's gonna be called Party Central, dude. I'm out of here." And then he goes out and he gets into the back seat of his friend Joey's, let's call it a 1993 jalopy of some kind. He gets in the back seat, and at that moment you have to listen for the sound of freedom. Do you know what the sound of freedom is? Of course you don't. I listened to your whole show. You don't know anything. Surprised you can cross the street and not get hit by a car. The sound of freedom is the sound that a Budweiser can make when it opens up in the back seat of Joey's jalopy.